All right, what's up guys? We have a really cool video for you today. We're outside TRU Ball with Spencer here, so he's gonna show us around the shop and just where he works.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Spencer, and this is the TRU Ball and AXCEL Archery facility here in Madison Heights, Virginia. This is where all the magic happens. I'm just gonna show you around and get a bow set up today for Steven.
We got a brand new Lift 33 to set up, so should be exciting.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So this is just the little welcome lobby. We've got some elk and turkeys and bear Olympic sites here, especially from this past Olympics here in 2024 in Paris, and then some from previous years' games. We've had a lot of success in the Olympics and in tournament archery and hunting, so pretty cool. Kind of some cool memorabilia right there.
Yeah, are these all like patents or
something? Yeah, these are all our
wall?
patents. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. And then trophies from ATA shows and stuff like that. Brandon Reyes is our pro shooter, and he's married to the wife of the owner here.
Okay.
And so he shot a lot of these. I think most of them, but
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Trapped the wolf there, I think. But most all these are bow kills because we're an archery company. So
yep, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But let's go show you around a little bit. This is just kind of the office area. Again, more of our product from throughout the years that we've released. Kind of goes chronologically, starting with old stuff, first row, second row, third row up to last year, and just it's growing every year. We actually had to make a new tier because we got too many products, and so that's a good thing, I guess. But
yeah,
yeah.
Cool. There's random bows laying around.
Oh, there's bows everywhere. Yeah, it's cool to walk into work and nobody bats an eye if you just carry your bow to your desk. So it's pretty neat.
Cool.
But let's go through this way. So Brandon, I was telling you about, he's our pro shooter. Mm-hmm. He kills a lot of cool animals. This is his office. Check out some of his stuff in there.
Ow! Does that work? But man, these are some nice whitetails. Sheesh.
Yeah, I think a lot of these are killed from Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. Okay.
Yep.
And we got the Mathews stabilizers. Just
that's right.
A couple.
Yeah, he's been a Mathews sponsored shooter for over 20 years now. I think he's actually Mathews. Well, maybe not. I'm going to get this wrong. He's one of Mathews' oldest staff shooters, I think.
Okay.
That might be totally wrong. You might have to cut that out. But, he's been doing it a long time. 20 years, I know that. So.
Okay.
Bathroom tour? Yeah, that's the old bathroom.
That's true.
Potty break.
Pretty normal.
So this is our assembly. So here at TRU Ball, we machine everything from start to finish in our machine shop up front. The only thing we don't do in-house is the anodizing. So we send it out for anodizing after the parts are made. And they come back in here, and all the little Lego pieces get put together into what we know as the sights and releases. Then it gets packaged and shipped out the door worldwide to bow shops all over the country, and we're in Bass Pro and Cabela's and all your major sporting goods stores, and it all happens right here. And
so is everything in the U.S. then?
We do everything right here.
Anodizing?
Yeah. All stuff is anodizing.
Yeah.
But then that's literally the only thing we outsource. We do everything else right here.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
great.
Let's go see what we got.
Made in the USA company.
So this is kind of what the parts look like after they come off the machines. They're just raw aluminum parts, and then they'll get sent out the door to anodizing in whatever particular color they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And then once they get anodized, then of course assembly puts it together and packages and ships it out.
All right.
So my desk is in the office in here, and I do tech support, phone calls, and then repair and warranty as well. So mostly at that desk, or I'm at one of these two tables working on repairs. People send product back and fix it or change it however they want and send it back out to them. So I do come out here just for bits and pieces and stuff, but I started out here and then moved in there, and I had done some of the trailer stuff in the years past. So our sales trailer goes out to like all the ASAs, IBOs, the Pro-Am national tournaments, and sets up as like a vendor at those. And so I'd done that for like 5 years prior to this, and now I've kind of transitioned to more in-house stuff. staying in instead of going on the road as much. So
yeah,
it's cool. It works out. And
so I guess if you call up here, you might hear his voice on the phone.
Yeah, that's right. If you call TRU Ball, you might get me. Never know. So
yeah.
But this is where all the parts get made. So each line is basically a different product or product group. So this front line here is like wrist strap releases. I gotta have the snacks and keep everybody fed. But this is like, so this front line is wrist straps. Start out as just a blank buckle strap, and then they build up the heads, and then whatever release it is, it gets whatever particular strap it is, and of course it goes down the line and built and then packaged. And after hours, normally there'd be parts being built. But this is wrist straps, and then of course the like insert cards, and they get packaged like the Beast XT Hybrid.
Right. This is what you see in the store.
Yep. Part of the handles line. So here they're making some fangs. They just start out as just the shell body, and then of course all the parts get made into it in each of the bins, and then all the springs and screws and whatever else is in the little bins here. Each release has its own station with its own parts, and so they've got instructions, and they'll build them up in batches at a time. Or just different releases. I mean, you've got each part in its little tray, ready to be put together into a greater product.
Steel beads.
So this side is more of the handles, and this side is our tournament sight side. Like at this Fang 4 here. I think this one's good. Let's hope so. They'll put it on here. Okay, that one's not good. That's bad video. That's what we don't want. So that's why we test it.
Yeah.
To make sure they don't do that before they go out the door. So that one will need to be adjusted and before it gets packaged and shipped out to somebody. But it's good we do it here rather than force somebody on their bow.
So they're actually testing them before they.
Yep. That's 100 pounds.
That's 100 pounds. They just, oh wow.
So you know, people are like, I got an 80-pound bow. Is it gonna hold? Yeah, it'll hold, man. You're fine. You're fine.
Just fine. And no one's really shooting 100 pounds.
Nobody's shooting 100 pounds. So if you did, it'll hold. So
yeah.
So they'll start and they'll put 4 or 5 pieces together like this, and then this will get put into a rail, and then they'll basically build off of that and build off of that until it becomes you know what it is.
So how many people do you have working? Is there like someone at each table, or?
Yeah, so like this table will have probably 6-7 people, probably 2 per table. Some lines, depending what the greater need is, will pull people to help out, but try to keep 2 per table. Keep it full and keep it product moving. So stabilizer table, and so this is just screws and stuff. I'll show you where they actually glue the end caps on the stabilizers in a minute, but this is kind of after the gluing, after the drying, they come out and melt more of the packaging and final product of the stabilizers.
Yep, stuff
quick disconnects of the stabilizers. That's a 16 degree quick disconnect off the front. And then all your screws for weights and stuff like that. Whole bucket of the that's the rubber that goes between the weight and the stabilizer end. So you just all the little ins and outs that go to make a whole product together. This is more tournament sites right here. The crazy thing people don't think about is like you got to have all the parts to make a final product.
Yeah.
And that might sound common sense, but like if you went out of one thing, which is easy to do, there's thousands of parts here that holds up that whole line.
Yeah.
So it's a constant working with the machine shop, making sure they're building what they need to be machining, and not just stuff we already have thousands of in the back, but the greater need of
what the demand is.
What the demand
is. Washers are getting pretty low.
Yeah.
There.
Well, we don't machine the screws and washers, but yes, I mean even something like that. If we run out of washers, we can't build that product that day. Yeah. So there's a lot of upkeep to just make sure everybody has what they need to be able to build what we need to build.
Okay.
So they build the single pin AVX scopes. Start with just a round housing, and then they put the levels in it, and the retainer rings. And of course they package it, but just stuff like that is where all these are made. The ring pins up here. So. Okay. That's like our dual pin Ranger. So it's a 2-pin vertical stack pin, so that gives you 2 aiming points on one single post. Rather than having like a 3-pin vertical, excuse me, 3-pin horizontal, you got a dual pin vertical.
Yeah, it leaves more space in there.
Yeah, so just another option for guys that like a single pin look, but want another pin for if they need it.
Because I've seen people take little Sharpies before and dot them on there, but obviously having a fiber is going to be much brighter.
Exactly, yeah.
So
here they make the multi-pin scopes. Again, just more parts and screws and you know, more the same. We make the Mathews sight, the Mathews fixed 5-pin sight.
Yep.
And they use these little short carbon bars rather than the full-length 6-inch carbon bars. But that's something we partner with them on to make specifically for them. That goes on like the lift, and you can buy at your Mathews dealer. It's been a pretty cool partnership with them. This is pretty cool. People always like seeing this. This is all the fiber optics. So we've got your 10 thousandths there, 19 thousandths, and then 29 thousandths in the different colors. Yep. And so however you can custom order scopes if you like particular colors. If you like all green, or if you want the standard green-red configuration, we can do that, and we can put it whatever size and color that you want. So
switch around the fibers.
Switch them out, but they go through that stuff like candy.
Yeah, it looks like fishing line spools.
It does like fishing line, yeah. It's cool though. But you can see, like, as they're building up steps here, this is kind of cool. You can see, so they put the fiber into the scope, and they need to wrap it around the scope because that's how we contain the fibers. So they still collect sunlight, so you can still see them in dark conditions.
Right.
But it's just kind of cool to see it laying out like that. Just the fiber optic
just stringed out.
Rainbow right there.
See that?
These are your pins that actually go in your multi-pin scopes.
Okay.
That like go in here.
Yep. It's the actual stack.
So, yeah, it's kind of what it looks like before it goes. It gets wrapped around the housing.
The focus not coming in. You may need to back up a little bit. Maybe.
So we actually flare the tips of these fibers with heat. Kind of makes a mushroom out.
Yep.
That way they don't pull back through.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that's why they're at this stage. They're ready for that to get heat to flare, and they'll pull the excess back to the tip of the pin, and then it'll get wrapped around in the clear tubing.
Okay.
These last 2 tables are our hunting sights. So they build up like the Landslide, the AccuTouch, AccuHunter, ArmorTech, RiaTech. That's all of them back here on these tables. So yeah, they got some RiaTech sights, and these have already had the pins with the fiber pulled back and wrapped. They're just waiting for the bar connection. Yep. So they can build up to this point,
done.
And then depending if it's like a Pro with like a dovetail or direct mount, they can kind of match that up and package it and do it like a sub-assembly so they can ship it out pretty quick.
And you guys just ship it out right from here?
Yeah, ship it out right here. So they'll build it up, and then it'll go into our shipping area where it's checked and packaged and boxed and out the door. So they're building up some windages here. So this is, again, like a sub-assembly, so it can be made into the greater product. But this is your windage click there, like your left and right, and the locking tab. But
what are these little beads? Like, what part is that in there?
That's actually the click you feel when you turn it.
That's the click.
That's the
those
click.
beads rolling. Okay.
Yep. So there's this spring underneath that knob.
Yep.
With the bead on top. Okay. And so that knob has little holes.
I see.
In the top. And so as you turn, that bead is bouncing off those holes, making the click you feel.
Okay.
Kind of like a rifle turret.
Yeah.
Some days, well, here they got a few here. Some days they'll have just tables lined up of landslides. So there's a partly built landslide, and then here's more here.
Yeah.
But like I said, some days it's just tables of these, and they're getting hundreds out. At max production, they can do quite a bit. I mean, they're rolling these things out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are buying them.
Yeah, it's our hot seller right now, so it's a good one. This is where my key. This is where they glue the stabilizer caps.
Okay.
So it's in a controlled box because the glue fumes are kind of
toxic.
Maybe a little bit, something like that. They're not the best to breathe in. So that has a ventilation system rather than doing it out here with all the jigs. So they can put the end cap on, clamp it in the jig. I think it has to sit like 10 or 12 hours and then flip it to the other side.
Yeah.
And that's how they glue the stabilizers.
Right. Because believe it or not, smelling glue is not the best thing for you.
You don't want to smell glue.
Yeah.
So these will go like on a landslide. It's a standard 6-inch carbon bar. We actually have a water jet up there that cuts this carbon out.
They're water cut. Okay.
They're water cut. And that thing's cool to watch it run because it'll cut right through that carbon like it's butter.
Right. No, it's
really
crazy when you see high pressure water, what that can do.
Boxes here on the side are just basically where we keep parts at.
Okay.
So every single part has its own box. And that's a bad example.
Are any of these like old boxes that you're not using anymore?
I don't think so. I think all these are being used.
All being used.
So like this part here, just bags of the gray lock lever ready to go on a Reatech. And so once the line gets empty on their bin, they'll just come pull more from the back and build it up from there. But it just kind of tells you how many. I mean, we got more parts than this, but it's a lot of parts.
Yeah, I can see that.
Some over there too. These are sight. Oh, we didn't do the laser engraver. Is the laser engraver running right now?
I can do it real quick. No.
Oh, perfect. You got to get this.
Let's go check out the laser engraver.
Can you pull up like a sight tape or something? Yeah. Okay.
Wait, so you can engrave stuff?
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean,
really?
I don't engrave stuff,
okay.
but we have the ability to engrave stuff.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, let's check this.
Because every part.
I'm gonna do a Max Pro.
Okay.
Not every part, but like the majority of parts here have to get engraved in some fashion or another. Whether they've got like the Max Pro logo on it, the TRU Ball logo, the AXCEL logo, or whether it's just the white ring here, like that's engraved. You know, because else it's just black anodized. So we have to engrave a lot. These machines stay running 24/7.
Well, some of those might be engraved parts.
Those are like samples.
I did some samples for the Olympics, so that's one.
So like this is a goat release, and this is nickel-plated brass, and of course it gets engraved with our TRU Ball logo on it, the size, and where the lock screws are at. So we have to do all that, and it's pretty cool to watch these things run.
Everything we do that is engraved can operate through here. We have to reference the workstation on an X, Y, and Z axis because the way this system operates is it's creating a focal point of light, i.e. the laser, that cuts through the anodized aluminum to actually remove this top layer of color and deliver whatever graphic design image that comes from our graphic designer on the product itself. So that can come in the form of a name, it can come in the form of a logo, it can come in the form of our name, that being TRU Ball, or sometimes AXCEL for those products. So as this is referencing the station for those different axes, I run predefined programs that go down to the 10,000th of an inch. We have to measure that with a caliper often to do something super intricate, like the numbers on this knob, how the laser goes over these edges and actually engraves the different numbers into the very, very small grooves, all through sizing and setting it up in the program. So for example, if I go ahead and run the L123 series, I think it's right here. Actually, it's going to be M182, that's what it is. The Max Pro Plus run. I'm going to go find the correct file, which we've already designated as the one that we've set up for this process. Once I click this start button, this whole door is going to come down as like kind of a shield, like a welding shield essentially, to kind of protect from the radiation of the laser, and it's going to go. So you'll see that. No, it won't. It won't. I promise. You're good. You can see inside there where the laser hits. The laser fixture is going to come down. And so right now that's what's happening. It's coming down from the Z-axis, and it's going to be very quick. You might be surprised at how fast it engraves the logos on there. And the tray itself is going to move and shift over. Hit the next file. And we have to custom design every single one of these. So when we get a new product, you might see a very quick 30-minute turnaround time on which I have to get a prototype out the door for whatever meeting that there is to pitch this new product, which is pretty cool. So.
Oh yeah, that's super cool.
So, really cool process the way it operates. I'm not the full-time laser engraver, but I'm kind of the stand-in for the design factor for when we come have new products. They'll give me a logo, and I can manipulate it and change it as needed to fit our needs. So once this is done being engraved, I can open up the specific AutoCAD program. I'm the one who takes the files and moves them where they need to actually hit the product specifically on that tray. So that's how it operates. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you see that together pretty quick.
Yeah.
You open it up and show them the finished product?
More than happy to. Here is the final product. Now, of course, we've only got one side of it, but it comes out white. The aluminum obviously is a metal color, but we of course engrave the other side and stuff with the back part, but that's what it ended up looking like. Axe Pro Plus.
Hold on, I'm trying to get focused.
And that's that.
Very cool. It's cool to watch that thing run, so thanks for doing that for us, Sean.
Perfect.
Yeah, of course.
Here,
Make a right.
bunch more storage stuff.
This is kind of our little inventory slash order filling area. Yep, go through there.
Alrighty. Back into the room. Whoa. Here we are.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Now you got a bunch more nice mounts
So our
up
range
here.
has been kind of converted into a little bit of storage as our growth has expanded and we needed room, hence the shelving. But we can still shoot in here. We can get 30 yards from this line, and we've got the full workspace to, do bow setups. Everything right here. We've got the third axis jig, bow press, bow scales, aerosol, all the good stuff.
Perfect. Let's get to it. Here's the bow.
Beautiful.
We'll be setting up today. Brand new Lift 33. I actually picked it up from Reedy's Archery, so they're a great spot. Chris, he really knows how to run a business. He's got another store up in Massachusetts if you're up there. Otherwise down here around Lynchburg, Amherst, Madison Heights. Definitely go out there if you get a chance. Yeah. Granite riser, black limbs, black strings, and the 70-pound mods are on here with a 29-inch draw. So,
what I like to do when I start with bow is I get the rest put on because you can't really put an arrow on it without a rest, and then I'll get a D-loop and we'll go from there. This bow vise here is the greatest thing for setting up bows. I'm pretty sure every archery shop has one of these, but I'm just glad we have one here because it makes life a dream. So, Steven, I thought when you buy one of these $1,200 hats that you get a free bow. Is that how that works?
oh yeah, it came
Where's
with,
the hat at?
the hat.
Where's the hat you paid good money for?
It's sitting back of the truck. Reedy's gave me a cool hat, so
Oh, that is a
went
cool
and threw
hat.
that one on.
Nice.
But yeah.
Are you a first-time felt guy? Need help? He's sitting there looking at it this way and that way. Like.
It's the wrong side. I'll grab this one.
So QAD that makes those rests is actually like 2 miles up the road. And so it's pretty cool that we have two major archery shops right here in Madison Heights, Virginia.
Yeah.
And so, it's pretty neat that.
Yeah, I was just actually over there earlier today, grabbed some Exoduses as well. That will be broadhead tuning. Okay, there we go.
Got it? All right, sweet.
Here.
So QAD MX Integrate. So these are a breeze to put on. You got the wrenches that came with it. These have a little cover here that comes off. And then, I think I grabbed the right size. This little clamp here is what actually holds it to the bow. And Mathews got this little dovetail right here to be able to mount. And they actually got a nice little notch. So this arrow, I can do it right here. This arrow and that notch, you just line those up. And that pretty much is in line with your burger hole as your starting point for your up and down arrow height. Makes it real easy. Snug that up. And so that's loosely on there. But that's the start. And that's what actually clamps it securely to the bow. That's it. So that's
super easy to set up on
those.
these. I mean, it's made for it, so.
And then on these two, because it's made for the Mathews, you pretty much just have to leave these at 0. So there's a numbered scale right here, and it's already set at the 13/16 for Mathews center shot.
Perfect.
So They're super easy, super convenient to install. There's no like getting your measuring tape and finding your center, and that it's already scaled and it's already set at 0 from the factory, I believe. So
yeah, so if you're getting a lift, definitely recommend
definitely go with QAD. They make a quality product. I've never had an issue with one. I've been running one for years and years. So
yeah, same.
It's a good rest. Oh, you got your D-loop. All right, sweet. And you got an arrow?
Got an arrow.
Got an arrow. Nice. What are we running?
Gold tip arrows. It says blackout on it, but they're blackout X1 Pros. They're made by Gold Tip.
Okay, very cool. What spine? 300 spine?
300 spine. Yeah, 0.001 straightness.
Nice.
So, yep.
There you go. Says no 75. You have 75 of these arrows? Because I always number mine.
SL.
So
that's an SL. So that's Steve.
I always number mine, and I'm like, oh, 75. That's a lot. Mine goes to 12.
I might. Yeah. Well, I've shot quite a few deer with them, so
Nice.
wouldn't be surprised.
And we need to level the bow string, and just do it with the string here. So this is measures your left and right with the level. Looks pretty close right there. Eyeball mark. We used to have one of those levels that clips onto the arrow.
Yeah,
but we lost that.
Yeah,
so
great.
it just
That still sets on the arrow.
still sits on here. And so we're just a hair high in the bubble this way, so we're going to go a hair high in the bubble this way.
Actually levels out too.
It's
It
true.
rises up a little bit.
Just a little bit. So check it. It looks like the levels are matching. So that's pretty dead level on the arrow, making that knock high. So I'm good with that. What I always do on my bows is I tie the bottom and an upper little knock point.
Yep. Take a little bit of serving material,
bit of
put it around
serving.
there, get your measurements before you actually tie the D.
That way, if you ever have to tie a new D-loop too, you don't lose your spot. You don't have to redo all this, you know? What this does is create just a little bit of space once you tie your D-loop knots, so you don't get knock pinch.
Yep.
So just that little bit of buffer, because when your string comes back, your angles compress.
Yeah.
And
If you've ever noticed drawing back and your arrow like lifts up a little bit off the rest,
you get a little knock pinch.
that's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this helps prevent some of that.
So peep, we got a specialty archery peep that we'll be putting in there. Not the hooded, because they ran out of the hooded ones, but oh well, this will do just fine.
I'm just making sure my knots lay right on top of each other, so they're nice and smooth and look pretty. D-loop.
Yep.
I don't know if I know how to explain it. I guess it's a 2/2 hitch knot. I think that's what it's called. So the tag's on the top here, and the tag will be on the bottom.
Yep.
That's how we want that.
So we could, of course, be setting all this up back at home by ourselves, but I figured why not come here, let the expert do it, and then I can blame him when I miss a deer. So.
Is that how this is going to work?
You're not gonna miss a deer this year, Steven.
No.
And then also what I do is I alternate which way the knots face. So
Yep. So we got the twist in it.
Yep. So this one's going around this way, and the bottom one's going around this way. Mushroom that out just a hair. Just like that.
Ouch.
Then you just hook this on here
And pull it down. There you go.
That's it. There's our loop.
Sweet.
Come back up. Can't do anything until you got a loop on there.
Yep.
So that's the first step. The red looks good. Full contrast.
There we go.
There we go. We're done. Just kidding. Let's throw a sight on it.
All right. Yeah, there's the sight, and here's the little screw.
I think that uses a 1/8 inch Allen wrench.
So go ahead and just slide this directly in here. It's easy as that.
You just want to, you can play with that because you want to align your peep size with your scope ring. So by moving it in, it's going to appear larger. By moving it out, it's going to appear smaller. So you can get those two circles to coincide each other real nice.
Right. We go in from the top here, right?
Plus, if you have to manipulate your sight tape, moving it in or out will make a big difference on that too.
Yep.
I have that conversation with people quite a bit in my day-to-day work life. People call up questions when they're setting up a landslide and trying to get their sight tape set up, and most time it's pretty straightforward, but you know there's 100 different applications, thousands of different applications, and everybody's setup's a little bit different. So
definitely, and that holds.
That's it.
Don't want to crank her down too tight.
Beautiful. We've already got the string re-leveled. First axis is going to be using these 2 screws. Crack it loose. So, bubble in the middle, bubble in the middle.
Yep, so we're leveled this way.
Yep.
That's why these landslides are so great. You can set them up on anything and get them set perfectly straight.
True first, second, and third axis adjustments. Not all sites have that, so that's a good thing to set, especially your third axis for shooting downhill out of a tree stand. If that thing's off, you're going to hit left or right. So, all right, that's the first. The second is going to be done up here. So that one's not far off. The reason I moved that over so I can get my wrench in here. You crack that loose.
Yep.
One on the bottom. Crack that loose. And then we want to get that bubble in the middle too. So this one pivot tipping this way.
Yep.
And so we're going to snug that up just a hair so it'll hold itself.
It's almost just like a tad on this
just
side.
Just a tick on that side. Oh. That's it.
Looks good.
Let me snug it a hair. Just always check it. Sometimes it'll want to shift just a little bit. So just snug it and check it.
Yep.
And snug it a little bit more. And snug it until it's tight. That's it. So it's right in the middle. Still in the middle. So that's your second axis. And this just screws into your stabilizer port right there. Let's actually do this.
Yep. So if you got one of these, this is the easy way of doing this.
This is the easy way. Bubbles in the middle, bubbles in the middle, bubbles in the middle. So now what we're going to do is take this lever here. Oh boy. And let's go backwards with it. Doesn't matter which way we go. Going to go to about 45 degrees. And lo and behold, our bubble's still in the middle. So our third axis was good on this one. So
perfect.
We don't have to actually adjust it. And it would be the same thing if we went forward on it.
Yep.
If it wasn't right, your adjustments are going to be right here on top. And you can get your third axis so that bubble stays right in the middle.
Yeah.
But this one is good. Forward and back is staying right in the middle. So good to go.
Perfect.
You don't have stabilizers yet, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Should grab some stabilizers probably.
You know what length you want? Do you want front and back?
Yeah. What did we decide on before? What was the length?
So the requirements
said
for
like 8 and
I have an 8 and 10.
8 and 10 probably.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah.
And if you're going to shoot bow hunter class for this,
right. Yeah.
You're restricted to a 12-inch off the front of the riser.
Right, which with the
once you add the quick disconnect, which is about an inch,
yeah,
the stabilizer,
so 10 and 8 sounds good. Yeah.
Weights, you're pushing 12 inches by the time it's
Yeah.
said and done.
Yeah. So let's grab a 10 and 8.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I got an 8.6.
8.6.
So we just have different options for people. And this is a full kit, so if you're interested in something like
that
this,
might look cool.
We sell this in a 6.8, 8.10, 10.12 stabilizer kit, and it comes with your front and rear quick disconnects and a couple weights. All-inclusive kit, ready to mount up on your bow. Do you want to just do an 8 on the front for now, and I'll get you the back
Probably
later, and
do
then we
that.
can just switch the bars?
Yeah, let's do that.
Do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Let me
better
find a
work.
quick disconnect. And
Okay.
all right, let's do it. Let's throw this quick disconnect on first. Again, this is a 0 degree, so it's going to be straight out the bow. A lot of guys like that for hunting and stuff. It's a 1/4 inch. Excuse me. Slap this on here. Just want to make sure it's straight up and down. So we used the very precise eyeball method. Looks good.
There we go.
It's childproof.
Yep. It sure is. Let's try not to get
it lower out. There you go.
There you go.
All right, and then this goes on here.
Yep.
And our quick disconnect nuts have a little flange here, and that goes towards the stabilizer. What that does is you actually have to loosen these up about 2 or 3 turns to actually remove them. That prevents it from actually just coming loose and then falling off.
Right.
So you actually have to take it off about 2 or 3 turns before you can pull it out. It's kind of a little helpful feature there. The little washers in there you can use to align the logo. So the logo's upside down right now. You can put the washers in and spin it so the logo's right side out. It's kind of a trial and error game to figure out which one's what.
Yep. They get you 3 washers here.
3 washers, and you can do 1 or 2 or all of them in whatever combination to try to make the logo come out right. And I've had to set stabilizers up for like product shows where we've got them on display. And sometimes they can just be a pain in the butt. And that one didn't work. To get them all to line up right.
Yep.
This is the thicker one, I think.
See, and then I got the thinnest. And then there's an extra weight here as well. If you need more
That
weight.
one's close. Ooh. I mean, that might sometimes that's about as good as you can get it.
Yeah. All right.
Let's run with that for now because that's pretty good.
Say that's pretty good.
I mean, you can see it from this way and that way.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
let's tie a peep in and tie this thing in. I think we're done here.
Let's get it.
Steven, hold that real quick. I need to change these fingers out because the phase 4.
This is lighter than the camera. I mean,
Yeah, Steven's camera, definitely.
yeah, this is like 4 pounds. The camera's like 8. Yeah, it fits right in there.
Fits right in there like a glove. The way this thing works, for those that don't know, when you draw your bow, it's going to be attached to this string here. And as you draw, this string gets pulled, this bow string goes this way, which pulls this way and pulls your rest up.
Yep.
So if we serve it into this string, it'll come up whenever you draw, and then whenever you shoot, well, I can't release it fast enough, but it'll fall.
Yep.
So,
Because this is a string-driven rest, not a limb-driven.
right.
There's a bunch of different ways, but yeah.
Cable-driven.
Cable-driven.
Cable-driven. Oh, wow. Yeah. This is a cable-driven rest, not a limb-driven. People could make fun of us for whatever little mistakes we make, but I'll still shoot more deer than them, so it's fine.
You probably will. Okay. Hang on. Okay. All right, go for it. And then what that'll do is it'll actually pull that string through to the right.
Yep. I'll get it set to the right lane.
Yep. It'll set it for us.
And
there's little hash marks in there that you want to just make sure that get aligned.
Is that almost
And
there?
they're aligned, yep. So you're almost at full draw. Perfect. So you can just let down now. And it'll stay where it's at. And go back in the press. It's a lot of back and forth, but okay. You don't need to put a lot of pressure. Just want to hold the bow, so you're fine there. And then get this way.
Ah.
There we are.
That's a clean way of doing it. It's easy.
Yep.
So, and that's not going anywhere because you're all the way up against your serving, so it can't go any more forward. And just quick and easy.
Yeah. Let's grab a quick wrist strap here. Tested to 100 pounds.
Let me get behind you. What you're going to do is draw
Yep.
and anchor and aim, and we're going to move that string pretty much where your peep should be. So you just tell me up or down, and I'll move that string.
Down.
If you need to let down, tell me. Don't shoot me. How much? More? Did I go too far?
I'm trying to see. I think you went too far, yeah. Yeah, that's
let
good.
down and reset.
Ooh, these are really jumpy off the back wall too. But yeah.
You have the 80s
That
or
looks good.
85s?
On what?
The let off.
The 80s, yeah.
80s.
Yep. No, but I mean, that feels super nice going back. It's right at the top ring.
Do you want it down? If it's at the top?
I mean, it's close enough. That's within like that much.
We can fine tune it
changes
with the
Yeah,
peep.
that looks good.
Okay.
The last year, I was at full draw for like 2.5 minutes on a doe before I shot it. Which that was really tiring. I was shaking a little bit at the end of that, but it was at like 5 yards when I actually shot it. So
Wasn't that 2 years ago?
wasn't that was two seasons ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And what I usually tell people is draw with your eyes closed. Get to your anchor
Place
where it
down,
feels good.
yep.
That way you're not
Do-
moving yourself to the peep, because we want to
Yep.
move the peep to you and not the other way around.
Right. Alrighty. So let's go. Oh, drop my eyes. Let's see. We'll just.
Anchor with your eyes closed.
Just anchor, yep.
Oh yeah, that was like right. That was like right in there already. Sweet.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Bang.
You got a favorite number between like 3 and 7, Steven?
5.
5? All right, we'll put 5 twists in here.
It's so quiet in here.
1.
Yeah, wait till we shoot this. See what that sounds like.
So I went 5 wraps down this right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we can start to tie in this bottom part here. I can say this now that I'm done. I haven't nicked a string yet.
Yeah.
Don't say that before. Just jinx yourself. All right,
Down.
there it is. Boom.
Looking good. What is your tightness? What's the torque specs on it?
Snug.
Okay.
James would say German torque specs. Guten tight.
Guten tight.
Very nice.
I gotta use that.
Yeah.
All right, you want to step on up close?
Yeah,
We don't
let's
know
move
what
up.
things out
Let's
yet?
move up a little closer here before we break an arrow. All right. I don't know how close.
I think he just wants to shoot it at this point, it looks like.
Where should we shoot it from?
We'll tune it. Just you can shoot any of the targets just to shoot it, and we'll turn it here in a minute. Shoot the paper. Is that peep good?
Could probably move it in a tiny bit more.
I was not ready for you to shoot that. You're shooting as you're talking.
Yeah,
Come in a little bit more pow.
That was way louder than this.
Yeah.
Shoot it through
Yeah.
paper and see what it looks like.
Okay.
That looks like a bullet hole. First shot through paper.
No way.
That's pretty good right there.
I think that's set up. I think the QAD Mathews TRU Ball setup is working.
I think it's gonna be pretty dialed.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
good. You don't get much better than that.
Here,
No.
Shoot another one.
Shoot
Another. Yeah.
He thinks it's a
I
dud.
trust you. Shoot another one.
So for the record, there's only 3 veined arrows in this paper. Steven
Yeah.
just shot that one, so
All right.
not rigging anything. It's not bad.
I'd say it can't get any better than that.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. No need to move anything. That's for sure. There we go.
You know, that makes a lot big difference.
Still on zero.
Other rest, you gotta find the middle, and QAD makes it easy. So props to them.
Sweet. So I was shooting bullet holes. So next thing, gonna get the sight tape and the pins moved around.
Yeah, we can do that. So what I like to do on these is you're working with a 5-pin here.
Yep.
How are you planning to set your pins up? Like what yardage for what pins? Do you know?
I'm thinking we'll probably get if we can get a 20, 30, 35, 40, 45.
20, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
So With these, you want to sight your middle pin in first, using your gang adjustment here.
Right.
And then micro adjust your 2 pins above and your 2 pins below. And you're going to do the pins first before you work on the sight tape.
Right.
So if you're doing 20, 30.
I think I might move it in again too.
Or was it 20, 25?
20, 30, 35.
So your middle pin's 35.
Yeah.
Which we can't really get 35 in here.
There's a door. Wait, this is 30?
This is 30.
This is 30. Okay, because I just wasn't sure if there'd be enough space in there for a 20 to 25. If there,
it's going to be tight. I mean,
if there is space, then we might as well do that.
It's up to you.
So if there is space, though, because we'll try and see if we can
Just
get
do it
space.
20, 25, 30.
Yeah, if we can. But okay, how close are we going to be?
I don't know. We'll find out.
But I'm not going to miss the whole thing, right?
I don't think so.
Aim for the dot.
We're shooting at 20, right?
Yep. You aim for the dot?
The black dot.
Yeah, you just straight low it.
Straight low.
Tick right, low, about a foot and a half low.
Put another shot down there.
It's a half jaw. Just under the dot.
There's so many bows in here. It's kind of crazy.
It's wild though. Money on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Not on the throws, but
Above it.
Okay, so middle pin now.
Middle pin.
Middle pin. Oop, boom, smack the camera.
Yeah, they're an inch off the end of the riser. I think it's in there. Ooh. 4 o'clock on the dot line.
Okay.
So, getting there.
Sweet, yeah. We just shot a 30, got the middle pin set there. Now we're stepping up to 25. Oh, wow, right here. Okay, we're here. We're here at 25.0. Bang, every time. There you go. Okay. Take a quick shot here. That's a kill shot. Step up here to the 20.
That looks center.
Yeah, I think that's good.
We can shoot through a chrono, see how fast it is too if you want to.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a speed check. We got our 20, 25, 30 pins set up. I'll have to get the other ones set up another time, put the right sight tape on there, but we're good to shoot a deer with it.
That's right.
Yeah, well actually once we shoot a broadhead, we haven't shot a broadhead yet.
You want to do a chrono check?
Let's do a chrono check and then we'll shoot a broadhead. Yep. We can weigh these, but I think they come out to be like 425 grains. So I think it's on the lighter end of what people usually hunt with, but it's been working just fine for me.
All right. Oops, okay.
At the 100 grain point. Okay, turned on, right?
Yep, it's good. Just don't shoot the machine.
Yeah. Squat down a little bit. Okay, getting
288.
288. The 70-pound mods, 80% let off, 29 inches of draw, 425 grain arrow. So yeah,
Nice. It's good.
got a Q80 Exodus, the swept version here. Send that one down there. Got back up here to 25. Let's go take a look at that real quick. Down here. Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're in the white. We haven't gone in and super precisely tuned it, but I imagine that's pretty close.
I've shot a Mathews bow once, and it was Colton's Phase 4, and it was sweet. Hopefully I can get this thing back. How far are we? And what pin am I using?
Shoot around the 30. Just a bit
What,
Middle pin.
middle pin? Middle green?
Just middle pin on the black dot.
Oh, wow. That has nothing to it.
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, I guess I could just put this thing down. Let's see how I hit it. That's not bad.
Yeah. For not being a spear bow,
30 yards.
that looks fine.
That was so, like, my hand felt so solid on it the whole time. Like, it doesn't vibrate at all. Steven got a nice bow.
All right, guys. Well, we got the new bow set up. Feels fantastic. I mean, going from my old bow to this one, you can tell a big difference. I haven't even had much time to shoot it, but just the vibration, the sound, just how steady it feels, especially with the longer riser. Even though it's the same axle at 33, that longer riser really just adds to the stability a lot. And big thanks to TRU Ball for letting us come out here. Hopefully we'll be back, film some more videos, do some more stuff together, as this is awesome.
Yeah, glad to have you guys, and hopefully this partnership goes a long way and get some more TRU Ball and AXCEL product in some of these videos, so it'll be great. I want to see some deer killed with it, so.
Oh yeah, the deer will be dropping.
That's right, I'm sure they will.
So.
Well, it's been good. Glad I could help, Steven.
Sweet, thank you very much.
You're welcome.